Alright guys, let's get into it. I'm gonna make this video to explain a common misunderstanding, for example on the forums when people are arguing about the current gearing system in Battle for Azeroth, and they're arguing against each other, talking basically talking past each other and past the real point, and they do not understand, in my opinion, why they are wrong, and they're both wrong. So basically two parties uh, who like to label each other, the casuals and the elitists. So basically you got people who are advocating against Titan forging and war forging, and then there are people who are actually known as the casual or more casual player base or new players who are advocating for um, this Titan forging and war forging system. So basically the point of Titan forging and war forging arguably was to help people like getting a soft nerf on the bosses the more they play the game. So basically if you are raiding and you cannot get past the second boss and you clear the first boss a lot of times and some of the pieces drop Warforged and Titan Forged, then you get a bigger power gain, and then you actually may overcome the second or maybe the fourth boss or whatever by sheer overpowering him, not outskilling the mechanics or actually doing the mechanics. So yeah, the problem with this system is, in my opinion, that it is not fun to acquire items and actually gear yourself according to that system. Well, when I am saying that, or while I'm saying that, if you look at my character, you will only see two normal pieces that are not socketed or warforged or titan forged. As you can see here, I got really lucky. I do not think that I deserve the item level I am having right now, because this is very close to full mythic geared, but I am actually not mythic geared, only a few pieces, and everything else is titan forged and warforged and with socket. Socket unfortunately does not go into the item level, but this is another issue. So the issue I'm having with the gearing system, which is not including the Azeroth pieces, by the way, this is a whole topic by itself, is why I'm saying this, why I'm making this video. Basically there was an argument between the two parties and they are talking past each other when one of them states that people are getting items which they do not deserve. For example, if you are an LFR raider and you only do Mythic plus 0 and LFR and World Quests, where your base item level that drops is basically 340, and you get items that are Titan Forged and Warforged and push your item level way above of your skill cap, because as LFR raider and Mythic plus 0 raider, honestly probably you have not the best clue about the mechanics and about what is going on in the game. And this is the argument the supposed elitists or higher end players are making, and the so said casual players are making the argument, yes, you are elitist, you want to cookie cutter your game and force it onto us, and we are quite pleased with the Titan forging system, and you are just jealous because you are a full mythic geared raider, like, or maybe halfway mythic raid gear raider, and you run around like I am right now, and you inspect people like I am doing right now, and I'm looking at him, and then if I find some Titan forged pieces, okay, this guy is not a very good example, then basically the argument is that I see him. If this was, for example, a full heroic raider and he had some mythic Titan forged pieces, heroic Titan forged pieces on mythic difficulty level, then I would be jealous. And this is the whole point. They are talking past each other, ignoring the real problem with this system. And the real problem with this system is like a girl having a bad boyfriend, like a bad guy. And why does the woman like the bad guy? It's pretty simple, because the rewards she is getting, like pleasure and attention and gifts and surprise visits and stuff like that is all impulsive and unpredictable, and this is exciting. Usually those relationships do not last very long, and they are only based on superficial things. So this is the way that World of Warcraft is currently going on with the gearing system. And for people who are arguing that gear is not the most important thing in an MMORPG where you are heavy on PvE like in World of Warcraft, and in my opinion World of Warcraft has the best PvE experience in from all the other MMOs I have played, this is arguably wrong. Gear is a big part of it, and for people who are arguing, yeah, but if you don't have the skill, blah blah blah, you're not getting the bosses done anyway. Yes, I understand that, everybody understands that. It is I am assuming a baseline of a skill level where you actually can maybe not rate on the level that Method is rating, but on the level that myself or some more than casual guilds are rating, where they're getting like 5 out of 8 or 6 out of 8 to the end of the expansion. And this is what I am talking about. Those people are usually fairly skillful, and for the casual player base they are actually the top raiders. And I am talking about those people. I am talking about people who have this skill. Basically, if they are all on this level, the only thing that is despairing them from one another is gear. And this is what it's all about. You have gear, you have your stats, and this makes the difference. I understand that skill is a big part, but I am always assuming a baseline of skill on those things when I'm talking about. So basically, in my opinion, what should be done and what should fix the system to a certain extent is removing Warforged and Titanforged on more than 5 item levels from the game, and only on pieces that are higher than LFR and Mythic 0 quality. So basically, if you are running Mythic plus 0 and LFR and you are happy with that, you should still have your Titanforged and Warforged and sockets and whatever. I do really not see the problem of those people having those goodies, because these people are actually usually, in my experience, not playing the game very seriously and are not playing the game for a very long time. Now, if we get to the normal heroic raiders, those are the more advanced players, and in my opinion, these people should deserve to have a system that is actually catered to them in an extent where they can play the game, where they can acquire gear, and if they wish so to stay in the normal and heroic raiding scene, they should be still able to upgrade their gear via Warforged and the system that I am about to introduce. And for the mythic raiding people who are not going to get an upgrade like myself from just doing heroics and doing mythic plus 10 or higher, I am not going to get an upgrade unless I am insanely lucky, or unless the items that I have are so bad designed, like this trinket for example, or maybe like this trinket for example, that is actually on 395 on pair with a 360 item level world quest drop trinket. For example, this one, when it comes to DPS, at least for my class, for my spec, then this is terrible game design, and I would wish that it wouldn't be the case, but it is, and we have to deal with that. And in my opinion, those people should get the chance to actually play the game and reward themselves with upgrades that are meaningful, progressive, predictable, like a steady and stable relationship. And this is what it is all about. It's meaning, it's progression, it's steady power gain, and it's nothing impulsive, nothing unexpected, maybe a little bit. That's why I was talking about the 5 item level Warforged. And what I was going to introduce to you is this bad boy here. That's the scrapper. The scrapper is doing pretty obsolete things in my opinion right now. As you can see, I have a lot of different gear. I had already disenchanted a full guild bank and a full inventory of mythic plus 10 keystone gear and mythic and heroic raid pieces, and I have disenchanted them, which hurt my heart and really did not satisfy me doing that. And for people who do not have disenchant, they would usually scrap that for materials, and this is, in my opinion, a very lazy and bad game design and a very underwhelming usage of the scrapper. Now, what am I talking about? Yes, I would like to introduce you to the idea I've had. Maybe if you are heroic or normal or mythic raider and you do a lot of mythic plus or mythic plus 10, mythic plus 8 or whatever, and you are hovering on your item level, and the only thing that you are going to get is a warforged or titan forge, and you do not know what you're going to get. You do not know if it's going to titan forge, you do not know if it has the better stats, and basically it's all RNG. So for example, for my spec there is some best in slot stats, that's mastery and crit. For example, if I have these yes, this is a good piece. It's a raid finder titan forge, but let's pretend it's just a normal heroic piece. If I have this piece, for example, and it's very powerful, it has the right stats, it is very good for me. The only thing that is better than that for myself is something that has a higher item level and the same stats spread. And I have a lot of opportunity to not get anything that is better than this, and I have very little opportunity where the RNG stars are aligned to get something of similar or better quality. And this is the problem. I would wish for a system where I could go to this scrapper, put in this trinket, and maybe put in this weapon, and maybe put in this, no, not this weapon, maybe this weapon, 371, and I would disenchant them, maybe scrap them, maybe all at the same time, one at a time, whatever, I don't care, and get some currency or maybe a progression bar, and when the progression bar is filled or I get enough currency, I would get an item on which I can right click, like this satchel, and then I could click on this belt, and bam, this belt would be 375 with better stats, better item level, and improved. So basically what I would do, I would trade the sheer amount of gear that I am acquiring through playing the game to a meaningful and steady progression of my character that would enable myself to actually farm best in slot items, even if they are like this item here, the compass, that is very good, is a best in slot item, is best in slot trinket. There is another one with I think mastery and strength on use or proc, drops from the world quest as well, and I could acquire this one as well. I could raid all the time, do mythic plus 10, get the gear, disenchant or I mean scrap the gear, and get those items, and this would feel very satisfactory to me. I would put in the time. Right now I'm not putting the time into the game, I'm only coming for my mythic raids, and I'm only doing one mythic plus 10 because it is not inspiring me to do more than this, because I know there is a very slim chance on actually progressing my character. I understand that for people who are not playing that much, do not have the time to play that much and still want to progress, yes, for those people I would put the limitations away on LFR and Mythic Plus gear. And actually this is a very oversimplified idea, or the concept of this idea. I have made a big post on the WoW forums where I explained a lot more details. If you guys want to see and you're intrigued by my idea, just check it out. I'm gonna put it in the link down below. And if you stick to the end, thank you very much. Thank you for listening. I am Looking forward to the comments you're gonna leave in the comment section. Thank you.